Hey everybody, Ben here from the Bonehead podcast, and we've got an unbox and build today. We are going to be looking at Frankenstein from Forge World, the new star player for Blood Bowl, / the remains of 2 star players. Okay, so Frankenstein is a really interesting star player. He's movement 4, strength 5, edge 4+, armor 10+, break tackle, loner 4+, mighty blow +1, stand firm, regeneration and thick skull. So he is a proper bruiser. Now he comes in at 250,000. So he's a big boy for a reasonably middling cost. Now if you want to know more about him on the pitch and the ways to run him and his special abilities, go watch our star player spotlight for Frankenstein. The model's now here. The rules have been out for like 11 months now. No, 9 months now. So you can go give that video a watch and you'll get a good idea of how well he does on the pitch. So when it comes to using this model, you're going to be looking at him from a star player point, and he can play for a bunch of different teams. He can play for humans and he can play for the undead. He obviously fits in with Necro, but he would make a pretty cool big guy model for any other team. So we've got the box, we've got the mini. I've given it a wash because it's resin and you do need to give it a wash. Mold release agent just wrecks any chance of gluing and undercoating. So we've got him ready to go. Let's have a look at the model. Okay, so let's have a look at the pack. So we can see the pieces on the board here. You get one body piece, one backpack piece, a arm here, a right arm here, and then you get these bits of accoutrement. So we've got this shoulder pad here. Now if we have a look at instructions, let's see if we can get them on the screen. There we go. We've got a shoulder pad, some kind of power pack on his hip, and a cool skull thing for his knee. So that's quite cool, which you can't see because of the way his fist is. But, you know, these things happen in Blood Bowl. So we've got the instructions. Actually, as far as these Forge World kits go, that is pretty straightforward. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. So it is resin. I have washed it and dried it already, but let's have a cheeky look at some of the casting quality. So when I opened this, I did kind of think this is one of the best bits of Forge World casting I've seen for a very long time. They went through a period where it was quite ugly and flashy. You know, there were pieces of flash kicking around and everything. It's still got some flash, and it's got a cheeky little mold line, I think. No, that's actually trouser detail, which is good. But this is some of the best resin quality I've seen from them in a while. Gretchen and Skrull were not brilliant, but this is much better. There we go. Let's see if we can get the detail on there. You can see the detail of the arm, the shoulder. I actually can't find much in the way of flash. Like, they've done a good job casting these. Let's have a look at the backpack, see if we can see anything that we don't really want to see on this piece. And really not a lot of mold lines, even on the top of the pieces. Really impressed with that. Really impressed with everything we're seeing on that regard. Actually, very nice cast. Now, this may be just one of the first that have come out the mold, and potentially as the molds decline, like the quality comes out. But we had Skrull and Gretchen about the same time as well. Yeah, this is actually really lovely casting. So we will build him in a second, but because I can't wait, I want to check out the size. I've got my trusty Black Orc here. We'll dig out a golem in a minute. So this boy is strength 5. He's definitely got heads on the Black Orc. So let's see what he's like when built. Now this comes with a 32mm base. That is the one I'll use. But really, strength 4 pieces. You know, you should be on a 40mm round. You know, should be this kind of chunky base size, and I think that's only appropriate. Right, let's have a build. Okay, so we've got him all built up. Actually, pretty straightforward kit. The only thing was lining the tubes up. I didn't get it quite right, so take a bit more time. Do a dry fit or two maybe. I did not do that. I never do that, and I really should do that. So, actually, model kit goes together really well. The instructions are numbered. The pieces are numbered. Do them in the order, and it actually worked out all right. I think we've all probably been caught out by now by a couple of Games Workshop kits. Yes, I'm looking at you, Griff, and your silly helmet. But actually the instructions are pretty decent and the pieces went together really well. So let's see. You can see the casting quality is really good. This is not something I've said about the Forge World kits before, but actually really cool. He's not properly mounted on the base because I intend to put him on a 40mm, but it comes with a 32mm, so I've just one-legged him on there. So that hand is massive because it is a troll fist, and you know what? That works out just fine. So size-wise, I've got a golem here. and let's do the comparison. So this is Plastic Necro Golem from the team, and this is Frank. So size-wise, Frank looks a little bit smaller. His legs are much thinner. And we're seeing this from Forge World at the moment. The scale of the Forge World miniatures is smaller than the standard one. Scroll was particularly tiny. It could have been a halfling, but Scroll would make a reasonable puggy miniature. So size-wise, not as big as you would expect him to be at Strength 5. I mean, he's a star player, so that Strength 5 element can come from him just being mighty as opposed to anything else. So a little bit on the small size here for Frank, you know, but he's going to look just... Ooh. Size-wise, a little bit on the small side here for Frank, but he's going to line up just fine in your Necro team. And you know what? He does clearly look Strength 4. So let's get a cheeky Black Orc in there as well, so you can see that actually Frank is bigger than the Black Orc. He's taller than the Black Orc. His fist is much bigger than the Black Orc as well, and that seems to do the job. So Frank, reasonable approximation, probably Strength 4 if I had to guess. Definitely doesn't line up against what I would be using as a Strength 5 piece. But then you guys know that when it comes to Blood Bowl, I tend to use models that are a little bit too big, perhaps. However, Frank going on a 40 mil with a little bit of a raise, I think, on his base, maybe a little bit of a scenic base, would do a good job of giving him that extra height. Cool model, lines up nicely, and when it comes to the design aspect, you can see they've gone with the same kind of shoulder pads as the Necro team, so he's going to blend in with Necro really well, and you know, obviously he's eligible on a human team as well, and because he's so unique, because he, terrible job with the camera there, because he's so unique and he's got such like style, because he's hobbled together with those different pieces and those different players, he's going to fit into anywhere you want him to go, because he doesn't fit into anything. Okay, so we're all done building and checking out Frankenstein. My thoughts on the model: I wish he was just 10% bigger. Like, I don't care. Like, he came in at a reasonable price, can't remember, £19, £21, classic Forge World. It's just how much the star players are, but the Forge World stars continue to be a little bit smaller than the Blood Bowl models themselves. You know, we had a look at the Golem. The Golem is Strength 4, Frank is Strength 5. The Golem kind of looks chunkier than Frank. Now, I'll admit, Frank has a power fist, basically, the remains of a troll there, which, you know, works for him. And it is a very cool model. I was kind of hoping that you could date this model and you could use him as an ogre for your human team. You know, maybe you've got a Sylvanian human team, and actually Frankenstein is, you know, your ogre model. He is far too small to be a human ogre model. Like, he's the size of a blitzer, basically. So he's got chonk about him that lends to Strength 4 block feel. Don't know if he looks Strength 5. However, quality and to paint, this model is going to be great fun. He's got all the puzzle pieces in the stomach, you know, so you can use the different flesh tones. If you're a model painter, this is going to be a really great project. That's kind of where Blood Bowl is at the moment. You know, all the teams are out. A team is £20-something. A star player is £20-something. If you spend £20-something a month, eventually you're going to have a gap in your schedule, and picking up this dude is going to be great fun to paint. Whether you're going to see him on the pitch or not is a completely different matter. 250k is a lot for what you get. There might be other stars that would be better. So, for example, I would happily use this model, but actually run him as Zug. You know, that makes sense. I'd love to use him as my ogre, but I think he is too small. And you know me, guys, when it comes to big guys, I like big models to be big guys. This is a cool purchase, though, so if you are a fan of Forge World or just looking for something fun to paint, you can pick this guy up, and you will not regret it. It looks fun, it is fun, and hopefully it plays fun. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. We'll be back soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy stomping. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to support the show even further, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Or come and join us in our Patreon, link below, where you get early access to our content and monthly competitions. See you later.